You're under arrest.
Ascencio Largo, the father who left his 4 young children in a car that was heating up by the minute, and only then did he realize that a seemingly minute-by-minute decision could cost his children their lives. And from here, a true crime gradually unfolds. What really happened during that nearly hour, and why would a father leave his children unattended in that locked hot car? This is the kind of story that makes you think, why would someone act like that? According to police, the 4 children, all under 10 years old, were left in the car for nearly an hour in temperatures exceeding 100 degrees with the windows closed and the engine off, while he went into an adult store. That was the content of the initial accusation. The body cam footage you are about to see shows officers immediately intervening, bringing water to the children and removing them from the car, where the temperature inside had risen to approximately 125 degrees. If you're new here, welcome. Stick around and subscribe to Leo Crew so you don't miss the updates on cases that matter.
Hi!
Where's mom or dad?
Do you know where your guys' family is?
Do you want some water?
Water feel good?
You can go far. We're going to be clearing Cedro.
There's 4, there's 1 in that one.
Here, lock your fingers. You're under arrest.
In the courtroom, the judge stated this definitively, leaving no room for ambiguity.
It's difficult to say that anybody who grew up in Arizona doesn't know that children and dogs die in closed cars. What the police are alleging could have resulted in the kind of story that gets picked up on international news wires. Man goes into porno store leaving his 4 children to die in their car.
Police describe how the incident began. On July 24th, around 3:40 p.m., Phoenix police receive a call reporting multiple children alone in a locked vehicle in extreme heat near 24th Street and Madison. A passerby noticed the situation and contacted emergency services. When officers arrived, the report was accurate. They found it completely locked, the engine off, and the windows closed. 4 children, ages 7, 4, 3, and 2, were trapped inside for over an hour, and the police quickly got involved, beginning to look for someone responsible. In court documents reviewed by the KPHO, it was revealed that the issue wasn't simply that the car had been left improperly. The children all showed signs of exhaustion, flushed skin, profuse sweating, and high body temperatures, and even after being rescued, the heat kept their body temperatures close to 100 degrees. Police then locate Ascencio Largo and take him into protective hold. Let's follow the events from the perspective of Arizona criminal defense attorney and former federal and state prosecutor Kurt Allman.
Jesse, I mean, that's kind of a judgment call. Pretty common here in Arizona that if you leave a child, no matter what age, in the car, that's criminal negligence at best, probably criminal recklessness and child abuse. And that's what the police determined here. I mean, it was July, right? So I don't know the exact temperature that day, but there is no doubt in my mind it was over 100 degrees outside, probably 105 plus. So that car got hot very, very fast. It's just a tragic situation all around. It's unbelievable.
There have been previous cases where parents accidentally left a baby in the back seat. They claim they didn't realize it because the baby was too quiet or asleep. But in this case, the fact that all the babies were left behind like that and that the police were present to confirm it is difficult to explain.
No. Thank goodness. I guess I've never seen a case with multiple children left in the car of different ages, but I have seen cases where children that are a little bit older, 6, 7, 8 years old, are left in cars while their parents are doing something. And that almost makes it rise to a more criminal type event, because that parent has to tell that child, hey, don't leave the car, or the child has to be afraid to leave the car because they might get in trouble or something. It's almost different than a baby. I don't know if it makes it worse, but it's certainly a different situation and just abominable. There's all kinds of stuff to break down right there. First of all, what strikes me is, Mr. Largo was out of it, smelled like the odor of alcohol, obviously had been drinking, but his first reaction when he sees police is to deny it's his car. So he's trying to protect himself there. So that shows a little bit, at least to me as a prosecutor, that he knows what's going on and he immediately knows what he did was wrong. But before that, like you said, he had an interlock requirement, previous conviction for DUI. He doesn't have the interlock on the car, which is what he's supposed to drive with. In other words, the car won't start if he's been drinking, and he's drinking and has 4 children in the car. So absent the heat, just forget there was any heat out there. He's committing numerous endangerment type crimes and endangering those children just by his actions of driving while obviously drinking. So it was a bad day for him and bad decisions all around. And frankly, he's the luckiest dad in the world that those kids are okay.
Court records further allege store employees made repeated announcements regarding children left in a car. No one responded. When Largo exited the store, he initially denied the vehicle belonged to him. Officers also noted the possible signs of impairment, an ignition interlock requirement on his license, insufficient child safety equipment in the vehicle. When police found him in the adult store, they said they smelled impairing substance on him. And that's not even mentioning the car he had left outside. News cited court documents which stated it is important to emphasize that the vehicle had only 1 booster seat and no child safety seats. 4 children were in and around the vehicle, which only had 3 rear seats. Police also noted the defendant smelled of impairing substance and his vehicle was fitted with a mandatory ignition lock. Therefore, even disregarding the heat factor, the situation the children faced was extremely unsafe. Let's take a look at the prosecutor's analysis of Ascencio Largo.
Well, Jesse, there's all kinds of stuff to break down right there. First of all, what strikes me is, Mr. Largo was out of it, smelled like the odor of alcohol, obviously had been drinking, but his first reaction when he sees police is to deny it's his car. So he's trying to protect himself there. So that shows a little bit, at least to me as a prosecutor, that he knows what's going on and he immediately knows what he did was wrong. But before that, like you said, he had an interlock requirement. That means he has a previous conviction for DUI. He doesn't have the interlock on the car, which is what he's supposed to drive with. In other words, the car won't start if he's been drinking, and he's drinking and has 4 children in the car. So absent the heat, just forget there was any heat out there. He's committing numerous endangerment type crimes and endangering those children just by his actions of driving while obviously drinking. So it was a bad day for him and bad decisions all around. And frankly, he's the luckiest dad in the world that those kids are okay.
It's important to emphasize that even without the children being left in the car, he would still be in trouble. 100%. Those are felony counts. Those are endangerment. Those kids were all under 15 years old. He's clearly drinking and driving without an interlock. Yeah, he'd have been in trouble. Immediately after the rescue, the Child Protective Services intervened to ensure the children were cared for and safe. The children were taken to the hospital for checks for heat stroke, and thankfully none of them suffered serious problems. Police bodycam footage captured the moment officers approached the scene and immediately assessed the children's condition: sweating, flushed skin, bewildered expressions from the heat, and the hurried efforts of the officers to get them out.
Hi.
Where's Mom or Dad?
Do you know where your guys' family is?
Do you want some water?
Water feel
I
good?
thought you could go far. We're going to be clearing schedule.
There's 4, there's 1 in that one.
Interlock your fingers. You're under arrest.
Listeners, in court, the judge emphasizes that the situation could have resulted in life-threatening consequences. Arizona courts routinely recognize that children can be unalived quickly in closed vehicles, especially in that hot summer conditions. The case is not framed as a misunderstanding. Prosecutors confirm the case could have been and could face more serious legal actions. Arizona law allows higher-level serious offense charges when multiple children are endangered, victims are under 15, risk of serious injury or loss of life is evident. However, prosecutors proceed with Class 4 serious offense charges. Have you ever witnessed something like this in real life? Let me know in the comments. We would love to hear your perspective here. In the first court appearance, the judge took a very firm stance. He emphasized the seriousness of the matter and indicated that the charges could easily be more serious. He said, and I quote, "In your case, I'm genuinely surprised that the police only recorded this as a level 4 serious violation instead of a more serious one." The judge said the defendant could have easily walked out of the store and faced a tragic end in the car, something he described as extremely alarming and entirely preventable. This is how the case was presented in court.
The scenario as alleged by the police is rather shocking. The police allege that they went into the store, called out many times, nobody came out, and they allege that when you came out, you attempted to pretend like it wasn't your car. It indicates a strong level of reckless culpability, of knowing. It's difficult to say that anybody who grew up in Arizona doesn't know that children and dogs die in closed cars.
Call that all officers hate to get multiple children left in a car, unattended, cars not on, doors locked.
The sentence is imposed: 4 months in jail, 10 years of probation. The court explains that probation includes strict conditions, and any violation may result in extended incarceration. And look, this wasn't some freak accident. It was the result of a chain of bad decisions that easily could have ended in tragedy. In court, the judge emphasized that this was a situation that could have easily led to loss of life, and that just a few more minutes could have resulted in an irreversible outcome. And a father finally realizes that parental responsibility allows no exceptions. Thank you for following along with our Lou crew, and see you tomorrow, where the truth always needs to be faced head on.